Do you think you know where we are? Huh? Do you think you know? Does this help you? Buffalo Bill's museum and his gravesite on Lookout Mountain just outside of Denver. Buffalo Bill Cody, born February 26, 1846 in LeClaire, Iowa, just down the road from where we live. Buffalo Bill, always the showman. Had a Wild West show, traveled the world, a lot of foreign countries, including Italy. Buffalo Bill's Wild West show. Miss Annie Oakley was one of the famous people that traveled with the Buffalo Bill Wild West show. Buffalo Bill's museum, and he once was a partner with a gentleman that ended up owning the show because of a loan that went bad, and he really was never a partner at the end. Although the gentleman that continued to run it always would let people believe Buffalo Bill and he were partners. And they have a area here where you can look up to see if Buffalo Bill actually visited your town. And so I looked up Iowa, and he was in quite a few towns in Iowa, including the city of Des Moines, several times. And it looks like those August dates might have been during the fair. The Buffalo Bill Wild West show also visited foreign countries in Europe, European countries such as Germany, Hungary, Italy, Scotland, Luxembourg, Spain, Wales, and I know France was back here too, England, Australia, Corsia. Your country there? This headdress was worn by an Indian whose name was Short Bull. He was a Lakota Sioux, and he fought at the Battle of Little Bighorn. And then he joined the Wild West show with Buffalo Bill. And this room is dedicated to Native American, the American Indian. Very nicely done. Another area dedicated to the American Indian. They were part of the Wild West show. Now, if you're ever fortunate enough to visit Cody, Wyoming, they have several museums there all in one location, and you can find firearms, history of Bill Cody. That's in Cody, Wyoming. We've been there. That was before YouTube. Maybe we'll have to go back. That's the kids' room. Oh, there's a kid right there. The kids' room, inside here, the little kids can take clothes, dress up like a cowboy, have their pictures taken. They got a steer and a horse, and they could sit on the horse and lasso the steer, or see if they can do it. So they can dress up. That's what a cowboy would look like. going to try and lasso this horse.
The horse?
Not the horse. I could do him easy. Let's see if I can do that calf there. Oh, I got it.
Oh, no, I think that calf would be able to get out of that. Okay, there you go.
I got him. They were going to build a shrine, but due to World War I, I believe, they couldn't raise enough money to do it, so it's a simple gravesite now. We'll go take a look at that. That's his foster son who built the current museum. And there was a controversy because a couple places wanted Bill Cody buried there. Cody, Wyoming, and North Platte. Of course, Cody, Wyoming is a town he made very famous. And North Platte, he lived there for quite a while. That's Scout's Rest, I believe. And they had to bring a tank in because to guard the grave because they didn't want someone to steal the bodies. Very famous painting of Buffalo Bill mounted on his horse. Later years, when he couldn't mount or dismount a horse very easily, he had to ride in on a carriage which looked very similar to this carriage. The view from an observation deck here at the top of Lookout Mountain and Buffalo Bill's gravesite. That's North Tabletop coming into view right there, and South Tabletop. And I believe right down there would be Golden, and the Coors plant right down there in the middle. Pahuska Teepee, which was the first building built up here close to the gravesite. The gravesite's up behind that building, further up a hill. Not a real tall hill, but a little bit taller than where we are now. And they have added a Buffalo Bill Museum. So it is a good spot to visit. It's one of the most visited spots in Colorado.
We're on top of Lookout Mountain where Buffalo Bill Cody, William F. Cody's gravesite is. And we're looking down over Denver here. We have been to several of his sites, LeClaire, Iowa, where he was born, Scout's Rest Ranch in North Platte, Nebraska, the ranch that he built, and Cody, Wyoming, the town that he built. And now we are coming to his gravesite in Denver, Colorado.
It's the final resting spot for Buffalo Bill. He died in 1917. Followed by his wife, who died in 1921.